It is the Aadhaar Enabled Payment System, AEPS, a financial inclusion product which has reached the mass. The first product in the UPI system is the BEAM. None other than our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has
That's
launched this BEAM product.
significant changes or the key changes you have seen in past 2 decades.
Entire banking community in India to transform into a connected.
How do you approach like the when your task of creating and executing companies digital vision and the strategies? What do you think like were the most significant changes you anticipate in digital payment in next 4 5 years? I mean, I thank you, for your valuable time so that you agreed to get on this Automation Age BFSI magazine. So this is more of like the kind of the discussion about like your career and experience, talking about like the technical expertise, the leadership and management, some industry insight, because the kind of like the exhaustive experience you have. I mean, in this industry, your journey and growth, it's talking about stuff way. Then something you are like advising on the personal development and growth, and maybe like some project like which is like the specific project which you want to really highlight or during your tenure across the various organization, and some final thoughts. So I think this is how like we will sequence. So I thought I'll just summarize like how the sequence is going to be. So coming back to like the career and experience. So can you describe like your role and the responsibility now currently you are with MCX exchange as a chief digital officer. So what are like your like current role and responsibility if you may want to highlight that?
It's good. Thank you for calling me for this exhaustive interview. I first thank you for you and your Automation Age organization for arranging this kind of an interaction. Um, Currently, I'm Chief Digital Officer, and I'm with this organization from last November 2021 onwards.
Mhm.
So in between, I was uh, having the two heads, both the CTO and CDO, and most difficult time the the exchange was gone through the transformation of the changing the platform in the big bang approach, both the trading and clearing settlements to from old system to the new platform. That is a major transformation and done very successfully. And that is one which I can say the thing, the a big role played during my that the tenure along with the CDO and CTO role. Now I'm focusing on back to my chief digital officer role,
Mhm.
and in this I'm focusing on a lot of new initiatives where we can able to drive the organization to transform into the more data-driven systems and the creating the more customer experience. So a lot of projects working on the things, and I think with that I will just uh, brief my uh, the introduction
Mhm.
about the current role, and also I would like to put one disclaimer. Whatever I'm going to speak to you now, it is purely my experience and it's my own view, and it is not belong the whatever I'm going to express is not the any organization view. So that I just wanted to put forward to you. to
Yeah, yeah,
consider.
yeah. And we really appreciate, because this is all about like your personal journey and then your opinion about it, and then so I think we get that, and we respect. So like the things we are doing, all this interview for this way. So this is more to do with their personal journey, their thought, how they played a role in the various organization. So coming back, I think prior to this, like you were like CTO of NPCI. So like, I mean, that experience, how did your approach, like, I mean, it has shaped up your approach to the digital payment? Because as you know, like the digital and payments in India, India is really doing great. Like I think leading the world, like the miles ahead of like number two, I understand is the Pix. But like the Pix is like doing the 40% what India does. So what when I think you were in NPCI, so I mean, what's your experience like? How it has that helped your approach to the digital payments? Like,
So it is the very long journey
Mhm,
and the wonderful experience as well as great learnings throughout the career. And whatever the did during the my tenure at NPCI, I think still it is in my memories, and I never forget it because the that kind of I'm able to see the people using the product and how their experience and everything. That gives me a big pride to me. Say that I have worked in this all this a revolutionary project at the NPCI.
yeah, and I think that's good. I mean, as everyone, like we as a, I mean, user, when we see, I mean, that kind of the user experience or that kind of the ease, I mean, no country like offers that. So I think which is really incredible from that. So when the UPI thing, and then the Bhim and Aadhaar for the financial inclusion and all. So do you want to like, I mean, talk two lines about like something on like the Bhim Aadhaar for the financial inclusion?
Yeah, you know the journey of the it is the Aadhaar Enable Payment System
Mm,
AEPS, then later on Beam,
mhm,
and you know that we had the everyone had an Aadhaar numbers. There is a unique identification number.
mhm,
Then later on that this numbers is used only to identify uh, the the identification as well as the demographic verification of the person. It is only
mm,
basically to identify the person it is being used. And the when this UIDA and the NPCI work together, created an Aadhaar payment bridge. That is the biggest breakthrough in the government benefit transfer systems, where earlier it used to take a long time to reach the beneficiary, and also in between lot of leakages in the money to various ecosystem which have to flow through. So to have that one and this other payment bridge has been created, where the exactly the beneficiary is identified through based on the Aadhaar identification number, and beneficiary got the a direct benefit instead of going through the things. So that is one system which created a big revolutionary. Then later on, then seeing this benefit, and the also there was the demand from the rural mass. Those people, you cannot memorize the pin or carry the card and go to the bank or any ATM center or POS terminal to transaction without help of others. So to give them more comfortable, and also the ensure the things they themselves is doing the transaction, Then this AEPS system has been, Aadhaar enabled payment system has been created. So there it is, again, it is a micro ATMs through the banking correspondence, and it gone to the doorstep of each customer, and the biometrics is used as a authentication for the payments. So this is also one of the financial inclusion product which has reached the mass, and by using again the Aadhaar identification databases. So this is the APS. Then coming to the BEAM. BEAM is when it is the when there is a need arises for a digital payments. That time, then government wanted and PCI to create a product. During that time, this UPI product also was in pilot stage. The first product in the UPI system is the BEAM. And this Bharat interface for money, I think this BEAM product is launched very short duration. And also that given this product itself is launched by none other than our Honorable Prime Minister. Mr. Narendra Modi has launched this BEAM product. So then this BEAM has the mobile-based UPI applications. These UPI applications is become the BEAM become the one of the digital product which is considered as an alternative to any currency. So that's why this BEAM has come into the picture.
And I think that's an incredible stuff what we have it in India. So when I have seen, I think I remember like somewhere in like 2004 or 5, I met you in IDRBT. So I think it's a long journey. So you have like such a decades of the experience. So what what do you think like has changed, or like the significant changes or the key changes you have seen in past 2 decades?
See that if you see the things, the IDRBT was established around 1996 to create a technology trends in the banking industries. Actually, it did that work. The IDRBT did the massive work on the things. When I was part of this IDRBT, the way in which during that time the banks are just moving from manual system to total branch automations, then gradually then to the CBS, and for that the underlying the infrastructures, the network connectivity, those days and BSNL and MTNL only was available. Later on, there are private players also augmented. So this network infrastructure also made available to the ecosystem, so that CBS, TBA to CBS journey was smoothened. And if you see that nowadays people are talking about beyond the CBS and platform-based approaches, they have reached. So it is well advanced because of the underlying infrastructure, then the way in which the institute IDRBT played. See, if I remember exactly when it was the network is created and Indian financial network is created. So when it was created, I was just doing applying a lot of theory what I learned in my academic, like a graph theory, network theory, a lot of things I used to do, drawing the diagrams. And because my director asked me to create a network for Indian financial systems, then I was showing 2-3 drafts I shown to then director. Then Dr. Vivi Bulati, then director, he told me that thing, no, this is what you have to implement. That is an infinite journey has started there. Then that is the base for entire banking community in India to transform into a connected systems and going towards an interconnected network. So Infinite was used initially, given through that one email system to create an awareness with the bankers, and banks also, most of the banks used as an interbank communication or intra-bank communications also using the Infinite. So this the infrastructure which was created during that time given and created more confidence and awareness, and the banking systems adopted the the continuous journey, and now we can see the thing everyone has the good systems and their own, and they could able to manage it. This was just very short story because it's a very big journey for us
Yeah, yeah.
to decade.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really like, I mean, I think you have articulated it very nicely. So I think, I mean, how do you like approach like when your task of creating and executing companies' digital vision and the strategies? Because now, like it's all about like the digital vision and the strategies for the company. So how do you envisage that?
See, when you do the things, when you say the things, wherever I worked with the organization, it was the either it is an associated with the a regulator, that's the Reserve Bank of India, or it is regulated by the Reserve Bank of India. So first we need to be look into the things what our regulator wanted to do it and what our government wanted to do it. So then we derive a vision to our own institute. Everybody in the whether it is an IDRBT or NPCI, then we have to see the how the our vision should match our country's visions. So then we create a visions, then start working towards that journey. If you see the things, a lot of payment systems, uh, electronic clearing systems was the easiest. It was
Hmm.
spread across the countries. Then after NPCI, after NPCI came in, then NACH was implemented, and that becomes a single system. So the for the country that is now it is very solid and very resilient system. So for no issues, and it was doing very good way for a
Mhm.
bulk payments, file-based payments. Then if you see a check truncation system, the journey started at IDRBT. It's a pilot system or started at an IDRBT. Then the then it was the when they wanted to connect to the entire country. Then if you see the thing, those days the bandwidth was very costlier. We cannot hire the more bandwidth
More
because
bandwidth.
bandwidth costs were very high. So then we made a lot of strategy and had a discussion with the network providers and made an even affordable, even cheaper than the normal network costs, so that then the CTS system becomes more successful. And now it is initially it was the started with the uh, south grade, north grade, then western grade. Now I think it is looking towards the countrywide as a single grade. So this kind of systems were it is what the visions come from percolated from the regulator as well as the government what wanted to do it as a country as a whole when being a central payment systems, and we need to look for the how to meet the country's visions and objectives.
Correct, correct. I think you rightly said that. So, I mean, again, like one of the mandate is like the high availability of your data center, and then these days, I think even the private clouds is like also like yeah. So, do you want to throw some light on that side of it? So, like how the high availability you take care of it, and the business continuity point of it, and then saying like the angle of like the private cloud. So, is it like still? I mean, we are away thinking of like the private cloud, or there is a acceptance like on that private cloud part of.
See, when you start with the private cloud, who needs the private cloud? When you have the large volume of the transaction, the organization needs for a large computing powers and have a multiple versatile applications and used in the different timings. Why someone goes to cloud? To optimize the resources. Suppose if some business may work from morning to evening, and then after that the entire resources will be an ideal. Then if we say if that can be cloud providers, what they do, they optimize into some users may only use in the night, like an OTT platforms, a media platforms, and maybe other e-commerce companies. Some people use it in the night. So this infrastructure is being utilized optimally so that the end user get that benefit, the cost is getting reduced. So when you do the cloud in the private cloud systems, when you have a large kind of the requirement, then you need to create your own private cloud. In that case, I did three projects, at least at the in NPCI and as well as the in the in IPTAS also. When then other purpose, one is the cost saving, other purpose is when you wanted to do how it can be used. Suppose when you have some applications, all the days it will not be used in same, all the time it will not be used. Suppose particular hours, some salary days, what will happen? The first 5 days, some particular application will ramp up the uh, resources. Then after that, the usage will reduce it. Then some application, what will happen? Evening times, maybe a 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock peak shopping hours, people go to for a shopping, the proximity shopping, and other people do the night, evening on online shoppings, all the things. Then it requires for the a different kind of the uh, requirement. So the application also have to be written in such a way that it can able to ramp up the resources and spin out and create a new instance to meet the load and the request from the customer so that nothing is declined. At the same time, when it is not in use, also goods should release that resources and it will be utilized to others. So one of the biggest example in NPCA when we are building uh, during that time, the private cloud, an immediate application was Beam. So when I remember very well that when Prime Minister was launching and hits was going huge ramp up, and we had an arrangement with our service provider to increase bandwidth,
And
as well as here because of this is already cloud ready, could able to spin out
scale.
the and augment the resources so that we could able to minimize the congestion in the systems and trying to serve the people. So that is the one of the best example I can quote the things how the cloud, a private cloud, is being used, and it is been successful in the in both organization also.
And then, as you said rightly, like it really gives you that kind of elasticity. So on demand, you can really scale up the resources and scale down. So like maybe like during the Diwali or like during the big Amazon phase, if there are like the transaction goes up, you can really throw those resources immediately, and then in next 2 3 days, like scale it down. So I mean that really offers elasticity on that part of it. So I think, what do you think, like, what were the most significant changes you anticipate in digital payment in next 4 5 years? Like anything, any significant changes or key which you can think of in next 4 to 5 years?
Yeah, I think the if you see the things, what is we are already have in as an India perspective. If you see the things, we have a file-based system match. We have the check truncation system for a check, and the RuPay platform for the point of sale as well as the online merchant. Then an UPI. So UPI is one of the most and the globally recognized systems. Then if you see this, the RuPay platform is one of the objective also to create a self-sufficiency. So if you see the things during those days when you have the cards and the small cooperative banks and small banks could not able to issue a card to their customers. So because of that, the restriction or cost or the certification programs and so many things, so they could not able to provide a good branded card to their customers. So when the RuPay platform rolled out, and if you can see the thing, everyone could able to get that cost, and that is also it is developed and managed by the now it is then NPCI, so that now this same card is accepted globally. Then the UPI is, we will speak about UPI little later and in detail how it is come story. And coming to your point on the how we see the future roadmap, if you see the mobile is going to dominate in the payment segment, and what people are used to move from only, say, if you have a mobile, you don't need to carry anything. So that convenience and an experience will going to dominate to continue to drive on the mobile based payment and the tap and go, the near field communication. Whatever NFC or tap and go payments, these two will dominate in the small value in the retail payments and continues to dominate, and lot of innovations and lot of product going to come around the how to use UPI base and also this tap and go that payment systems, because mobility and so many sectors now, even if you see QR code is one of the driving factor in many places and going to be used. Even in example, if you see recently launched even ATM, you can withdraw money with just QR code. Yeah, just scanning this QR code. That is actually the original thought process of unified payment interface. Could able to integrate every channels. So this retails will continue to dominate this two product, and high value and maybe the B2B segments will continue to be in the maybe an RTGS and NEFT will continue to drive at least for our country, because the size of the volumes will definitely will demand for the two kind of payment system, one for a small value, another for the large value and secure things. So that way these two will continue to dominate. Maybe innovations will happen into these two areas, and the central digital currencies also going to play, and the CBDCs, central bank digital currency. Yeah, yes. There are two portions. One is the wholesale. Wholesale banking can go into any technology which can be, because it's between the institute to institute. But when you go the retail payment systems, and the expected to do in offline mode. When it is breakthrough in the offline mode, we create all the infrastructure to do the offline mode, and then this CBDC will have a major play in the ecosystems. And this what I think the trend will go, and global could be, I think it's everybody look for the optimizing the cost of transaction and trying to get the best services.
Correct. And I think you rightly pointed, because that was my next question about like the cryptocurrency or CBDC. But do you see like the role of the blockchain here. So do you see like the blockchain will add some value in this context?
See, blockchain, it was the one of the yeah, biggest what we say created a big noise in the industry in last 3-4 years. But
Mm-hmm.
lot of exploration, lot of exercise has happened on the blockchain. But the blockchain may be useful for when there is the less number of and volumes and more values, because you need to maintain a lot more nodes for every transaction need to be repeated. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the, say for example, I'm doing say a chai wala say 50 rupees and paying through a QR code smart payment. Why do you need a blockchain for this one?
Mm.
So this kind of transaction not required to have returned so much. So that's why this only will be useful in the very high value and less volume areas where this blockchain will be useful even in the payment systems. And probably maybe a KYC could be one of the application could be will be more successful. We can use that one. And the other areas, if you see the things, if you go to the digital currencies, then wholesale banking could be, we can drive through the blockchain, because it is the when you transfer the block one to other, then it could be. Then when it comes to retail, it should be a different kind of technology. I think it is my the personal view on the things. And coming back to the cryptocurrencies, see, wherever a regulator is there, wherever somebody gives an assurance,
Mm-hmm.
then people confidence is increases.
Right.
So if we say in any rupee or anything, any currency, somebody has promises to pay so and so. But if you go back to cryptocurrency, how it is works, it's a federated systems.
Correct.
So that federated systems, when coming into kind of the money matters, I think there could be a lot of concerns, lot of regulations. I think, as per my personal assessment or views, it could be a very less, maybe, and I don't think expect that 1 to 2% is itself a big one as a global. It will adopt in the cryptocurrencies, unless the currency is like a say CBDC, something somebody gives the
Something.
backend support and saying the thing, I am giving an assurance and regulating those things. If that kind of changes comes, that crypto technology can be utilized somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
but not as a
Not as a
cryptocurrency.
currency. Right.
Mm.
I think you rightly spotted that. So do you see like any regulatory challenges in digital payment sector? And if there are, how do you navigate them?
See, as per my experience, most of the regulators, and in India, even in other countries also, they always go consultative process. They always discuss with the ecosystem. They always discuss with the ecosystem players, and they will try to bring the views and to protect the interest of both the investor as well as the customers. Always they keep in mind, then they create the regulations. And many area market segment fairness, always they will insist. So that case, if you see the things, when UPI was created, see, when I was handled personally in that network. So it was created, if you see the things, UPI model itself is the new model. one bank customers is occurred by other bank customer. Okay, so how it is possible? It is not permitted, no? So normally you cannot, without any account relationship, you cannot acquire customers. This is one of the major change in UPI, and allowing fintech to do the payment system product and provide the services. This is also one of the major changes in the regulations. So in this case, what happened? Both the regulator had a detailed discussion with all banking community. Then Indian Banking Association had a discussions, and all the inputs after taking and seeing the perspective of the need for the payment systems, regulator has permitted these two changes into the systems, and they have brought some governing framework to ensure the system is protected and the services are given to the customers. So that way, I don't think any hurdles will come from any regulator if the proposal or changes which proposing, it has an interest in the ecosystem interest. Definitely it may be sometimes take little more time, but it will get it sorted out.
So I think regulator has been quite cooperative, and I think welcoming all the innovation, and as long as it fits into the box. I mean, I think you have not seen like any challenges that per se when it comes to the regulator. Now, like coming back to like now your personal journey. So like where you started like your personal journey, and then you have reached to the really like top of the mountain kind of like with the leading roles. So do you want to like highlight your personal journey, like how it started, and then currently where you reached like so maybe you would like to hear something on that.
Yeah, it is if you see the things, maybe I do not know whether I would have reached this stage, because I started a very small village. Even bus don't come to my village. I studied in a government school, then up to fifth standard, and go to for the sixth standard I have to walk 2-3 kilometers and next village, and like this all in government schools I studied. And then the turning points for in my education, one is I studied in Gandhigram Central Universities. Then my MCA, I was I think my that at Erodu and Erodu Arts College and under the Bharatidasan. Then I did a PhD. So the academic journey is given me very strong. I think I believe in our educational systems, and every moment when I do work, I used to realize what learned in theoretical, and both in undergraduate and the postgraduate, whatever studied. Even if you see the things, the network, the deployment, what I did, and true practical, my theoretical knowledge used in true practical in my industry, and even for now we are studying all the things AI and ML. We are using the natural language and the artificial intelligence. Those theory and all we have learned during my academic thing. That now
Academic.
I'm seeing the things how it is getting implemented. Really, it is a good experience. And when an IDRBT is one of the turning point for me to getting into the payment and industry, then that is also one of the what we call it as the digital public infrastructure institute. So from that only the product which is for NPCI and IPTAS, both again a public infrastructure companies, then given to both this institute. That is some of the product like an NFS, then CTS, then the network created and data center. Then NPCI has all development and everything is done, and this will help me to journey from the and seeing. I had a lot of discussion with bankers and the ecosystem players and all these learnings. Even as a board levels, I used to interact, helped me to come to at this stage, and lot of experience, a lot of learnings in so many areas. So that is the biggest my life. I could have learnings also more and experience also more. I got it throughout my journey to reach at this stage.
I mean, that's good to hear. I mean, I think where you come from, and then whatever you have learned theoretically now, I mean, practically you are able to like implement. And I think that's where like otherwise, like the most of the time, what we learn, I mean, we are not able to like really implement it like in most cases. That's how it happens. But I think this is like the icing on the cake when what you learned and you are able to execute. I mean, that's a when the effective use of it. So any milestone or like any significant like the pivotal moments like in your career that has significantly helped influencing your personal growth. When anything which is like we remember or something which you say like, okay, this was like my turning point.
So if you see the, I think we have not spoken about the UPI.
Yeah.
Okay. And UPI is one of the a turning point, I can call it as.
Mhm.
Because this system, when I designed, I was the founding member of the UPI. So, and though we got the 2, 3 individuals, I don't know whether I can name it or not,
Mhm.
and get a full moral and every support, and to got into the this creation of the UPI. I had a good experience in whiteboard discussion with the industry renowned person in 1-to-1 and maybe
Mhm.
2, 3 people together, even hours together
Mhm.
while designing this UPI. Okay, this is one
Mhm.
of the
The milestone turning
key
point.
milestone, and how it is come. Even when I was at an IDRBT, I used to have the banks and as an advisor. So I used to have the to inspect the POS machines and ATM machines, and I know how what mechanism this all the things are worked. So that experience helped me while I'm designing the UPA product, how to create a software based acceptance, a pin acceptance, that SDK kind of things.
Mhm.
So that design and my internet experience helped me to design the VPA address systems, virtual private address system. These two moments now I'm seeing the things, and it is a pride for me everywhere when I'm seeing the things, this product. Everyone, when you go on, just somebody scans a QR code, make a payment, or somebody say the things. If I go on stand in any shop, I will be making in one transaction, then I can able to witness to at least a 10 to 15 transaction within 10 to 15 minutes. The product which I was involved in creating that product is a
Created.
pride for me. That is a moment. And it is also globally unique product.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is another proud moment which I can say the things. And in front of my eyes, I could able to see the product getting successful. Then that is the my great enjoyment also.
Yeah, and I think that's a proof of the pudding. So it said like the proof of pudding is in eating. So when you do this transaction and you see that people are using like successfully, and it's a truly globally unique thing. Means there is nothing like the UPI equivalent like the global perspective. So I mean, as I know, like you are like the technical person and the engineering brain. So like more of like the way. So like now you are in the leadership role. So, have you faced any challenge, like being a truly technical, hands-on kind of the person, moving into the leadership role? So, did you face like any challenge? And if there are like any challenge you face, I mean, how did you overcome?
See, if you always see the things, if you any technical persons, okay, it's like a digital. kind of things, either 0 or 1. Okay.
Binary.
So binaries answers will be there.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that is the when you grow and we go at the strategy levels or leadership level. So to presenting that binary also you need to have way of art to do it. I think so that is one challenge which maybe I have faced, and also sometimes the even truth also have to be told in differently to convince them.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, I think the some of the times if we go some if we say in business domains or in the strategy domains, in leadership domains, if you go into the managerial capacities, what I have learned later on also, and we need to how to handle both adversaries and the supporters also. But how to handle is, and even if you wanted to tell right thing and how to have a different way to convey. I think that is one, I think a lot of ways I did, but the at the same time, whatever work so far I did, I don't know, it was whatever way challenges happen, but it is finally becomes a very good fruit or it's an outcome. And I enjoyed working with all the leaders, whatever who were worked with me, even in my colleague, I think Dilip also. I think if you see the things, in most of things, both together we did it. So then you see the thing how so many systems which was done and created, now it is all the things are getting expanded, but that is not possible to it like a building a road or building the a big infrastructure means you have hurdles,
Infrastructure.
but you need to come out the hurdles and to move ahead. That is the way of life.
Exactly, exactly. And I think you rightly articulated that. So, like for the young aspiring professionals, so now India is like, I mean, globally accepted as like the technical manpower, or like where like they say like the young brains talking more techies than the management kind of way. So, what advice would you give like for the young professional who wants to build their career in the digital payment and the financial technology? What could be like the caution or the suggestion you would like to give them?
See, now if we see digital means a tech, if anybody, even school learning people are coming with the tech background.
Correct.
Okay, that means the software based things, and need to more focus on even an engineering areas where we need to have more focus on engineering, and also definitely our minds, the software minds are available, and that will it will drive towards the feature, because the AI coming features, then more automations will be coming in pictures, and the how to do all this phase that no automation will get away any resources, but still it will, what will happen, it will make an easier to deliver a services. So that way, suppose for example, if the SOC is getting an automated means, so many people wanted to see, and even one miss out of one alert, then it will create an issue. But the automation will help you to deliver more efficiently. So that way, if you see the things, the young team should accept the automations or new technology coming in and should not see as a threat, but trying to learn how it can be utilized in more segment and more areas, so that keep momentum on the new things learning. Always it should be up to date, it should be keep in mind. Otherwise, it is very difficult to survive in the even payment industries, both domain as well as the technology.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I mean, you have been like always like the innovating the thing. So how do you like make a balance of like the innovation and then something don't touch kind of like the secure payment infrastructure? Because at times like people are reluctant to make the changes or like coming out of their comfort zone, because innovation will always like the try to disrupt something or making someone uncomfortable. So how do you like maintain the balance or equilibrium between the two?
See, innovation disturbance means it will create a more impact in the industry. It will not actually, it will not to take away anybody's job, or it will not create any issues to the systems. Okay, but if it is properly tested and rolled out. So when you do the thing, say change is unavoidable and the incidents also unavoidable, but how quickly we could able to recover and restore the services, the very important. So that is the resiliency building. So that's why whenever you do a new uh, things, and you should have a good testing systems. And we used to do the not only a positive testing, negative testings, and do the regressions, and do the create a confident acceptance. If you go anything new thing, if you go new concept, and many people will not accept it. Even during my UPI things, introduction of the things, and nobody is accepted in the market. Everybody started telling, no, no, this is not a good model. This not, because there's always any change is come. Always initially there will be a
Reluctance.
any restraints or the opposition will come, but we need to explain to them what is the how it can be able to transfer and create a proof of concept to showcase to them how it is going to be happen. Then definitely I think change will be definitely accepted, because mostly I don't know the upcoming generations and all more on digital.
Mm.
So you need to you need to see the things how to handle this kind of people. Even they don't want to even for wait for an even 1 second.
Mm.
You want to make a payment, just click or just go it. But when you are doing that one, but your payment system have to be very resilient
Mhm.
and very foolproof, and building a confident not only a payment, including the merchants.
Mhm.
So these merchant systems also have to be very robust. Now one of that leg need to be still, it is to be very stronger, so that if I'm doing a transaction here, even if it goes wrong transaction, then I could able to get a confidence that I will get a money within a 15 minutes or whatever defined time. I will able to get it. That confidence if comes, no, then it should it is a good way to create a new product.
Well, that's great, sir. So coming on like the final thought. So like what motivates you to continue working with the tech digital payment industry? So even after the decades, like
So one thing I used to tell even my friends also, see in if you go to one work in the evening, you should get a satisfaction. Even if you work hard, even do whatever way you do work, even put a lot of trust and do it, and the end of the day you should get a satisfaction. Then you'll feel proud, and you'll get proud means you will get a satisfaction in your work.
exactly.
Then when you get a satisfaction, whenever you go to work, yes, definitely, yes, today I did these things. Then I should get a satisfaction. Then you will get the good thing. Not like that, just going and spending time. That will not be the approach. That have to be at the end. You need to see the things what you like it and what you want to get a satisfied. That way only. I think in the system, whatever I'm working, I get a lot of satisfaction. That's why I continue to do this
Yeah.
area.
And I think someone said, so I think it's like hard coded in my mind. So like they said like when what is the difference between like the success and the satisfaction? So generally, like the success is like the defined by the others. Like we say, oh, X, Y, Z is successful. We think it is successful, but satisfaction, as you rightly said, is determined by you, not by others. So because like when you follow your passion, when you are happy, you are satisfied, you decide that I am satisfied, not the other guys. Because to the world, we said like the grass is green on the other end. We can say, oh, that is like really good, but that person may or may not be like the happy, so may or may not be satisfied, because like people define that success, but satisfaction, you define it. And I think you said it very well. And very well. I forgot like who said that, but like it's like the hard coded in my brain, like saying you determine that you are satisfied or not, not others can determine that. When very well said, like yeah. So something like which you, one change you want to bring it in digital payment landscape, what it would be, I mean, and then why?
See, the what is the payment to need? It is make a business to do easier. Okay, doing a business easier. That is the way the payments are facilitated, whether individual or a business. So now we have a strong payment systems, good payment systems, immediate, anywhere, anytime, non-stop. So now what is the next target? Who are the users? So many ecosystems, whether educational, hospitals, or the online merchants, or the offline merchants, small merchants, and everything and all. So when you do the in the online merchants and online trading, I think the sometimes there is frauds happening. Sometimes there is the delay in reconciliations and people not able to get their money in time. So suppose say that somebody is going to an hospital or paying an payment for say online, say some say $1,000 if it's online, if they are making payment, if it is the amount is got deducted but service is not provided. In case
Mhm.
of travel also, even for an airlines or trains, all the things. And then if you wanted to do one more transaction, the same amount, you must think about if that guy do not have money, what happens to the transactions? Why that should do and keep that money? Yes, he did not get a service, he did not get a ticket or whatever confirmation. Why should that money should be lying with the either merchant or the payment aggregators? So this change, I think, that is need to be focused and need to be done, and I think that will drive still more confident because if you see uh, many people, if you go and see even for a UPI payment, if you say the things, they will just only why do need the even they need an voice enabled devices there to get a confirmation that because their bank is received like that they are getting confirmation. This one confidence they are getting. Suppose if that is comes as a suppose if this their amount is deducted but not paid, but he did not able to get a services even for going to the shopping, even in the merchant locations also. If this kind of experience comes, then the people may switch over to the cash methods. So I think we need to have still stronger other ecosystems. We need to integrate very stronger, and also the grievance of that ecosystem need to be it be maybe we can go beyond even should be regulated. And if you have a merchant, you should have, if you get deducted, if the service is not delivered, and you should be giving money within 5 minutes. That kind of tat and you used to be, then those people have to be brought into the online system. Other people have to be trained or enable them to bring that level. Then only still true success will happen.
Mhm.
I think that will create a lot of revolutionary in the ecosystems.
Yeah, and I think you rightly said. So, do you see like the payments and digital payments growing a so integration of like the payment with the hyper automation and the Gen AI? Because I think Gen AI is like the talk of the town. Like go to the any country where like with the integration with the Gen AI and extracting the things, analyzing the patterns, giving like the chat GPT kind of the experience. My transaction failed, my money not create way. So when typically like when I myself seen like at times like with the McMy trip or any like a transaction like failed or like you want to query, then when you are like put on the hold for like hours and hours like a. So is there any way like with giving that chat GPT and that integrating hyper automation and Gen AI would make sense like and then and do you see like something which you can think right now or which can be like the low hanging in that perspective, the integrating payments, digital payments with Gen AI and the hyper automation.
Yeah, I think if you see the Gen AI and the this generative AI is hard it creates a quickly responses. It could able to create a quickly your text or image or the pattern analysis because it uses a lot of technology, deep learning or machine learning. So all these technologies are being used so that you will get a quick output. Okay, and also it is some of the things are very trained models. Most of the cases in fraud and risk mitigations, this Gen AI
Correct.
can be used, and the even this kind of the for data driven decisions. So suppose if somebody's transaction got debited and the service is not delivered, so definitely it can be the data can be get it from two different sources and get it to quickly compared, and also even you can based on the customers behaviors, customers patterns also, then quickly that decision can happen, and then get a customer service can be improved and security also can be improved using the Gen AI. At the same time, Gen AI technology also available in the even for the fraudster also. They can also
Got
use this one to analyzing the patterns, and also they are also getting sophisticated because of based on these technologies are available. Definitely, Gen AI will be one of the tool which can be used for this driving the data driven decisions.
And I think, you rightly stitched that story and then saying like how it can be used. So I think when this session was like really insightful and there are a lot of learnings like and then the insight we got from you and then about yourself, like your personal journey, your professional thing. I mean, the things you have done in case of the UPI, you talked about like the Bhim, Aadhaar, etc. I mean, I think this is like, I mean, tons of things I think in the interest of the time, but at least we can go hours and hours because like there is like the when lot of information is available and then we can talk hours on this. But I really thank you, I mean, for your valuable time and making it for this discussion. I mean, really appreciate Dr. Rajendran.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prasad, and I think for this wonderful opportunity to have such kind of interaction, and it is for me to bring out a lot of my old memories to and share a few things with you. I think it is yeah. If you go through, as you said rightly, we can talk even days together because it has a huge
Yeah.
stories on the Indian payment system journey. I think thank you very much for this
Yeah, and
opportunities.
this is like the small initiative at our end where we are really interviewing the industry leaders and those who has played a vital role in Indian payment industries. And in APAC, yeah, where like we will have this kind of the session with like other leaders and trying to see like I mean sharing their things and then in the benefit of like the our country or like to the the payment industry fraternity, and that's a small initiative which we are trying to take it up. And I really appreciate your time. Have a great day ahead, Dr.
Thank you.
Rajendran.
Thank you.
Thanks a
Thank you.
lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.